always on the go, but the day just won't be one without your Hollywood fix. Let Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast take care of that. An all-inclusive look of pop culture.
Hello and welcome to the GSMC Entertainment Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I am your host, Sarah, and I am happy to be with you on this Father's Day. If you are a father, then happy Father's Day. If you are a child, then hopefully you have a father figure you were able to spend some time with. When I wish a happy Father's Day, I wish it to dads, stepdads, goddads, uncles, father figures, really anyone who plays any kind of parental role in a child's life. It doesn't just have to be a father by blood. There are all kinds of fathers in the world. So for those of you out there who have special children in your life, even if those children are very, very grown up, then happy Father's Day to you. In fact, our first story has a Father's Day not twist, but it has a Father's Day theme to it, and that is that Kensington Palace posted a couple of pictures of Prince William for Father's Day. Prince William shared the pics. I'm never fully sure if William and Kate actually share the pictures on their news feed or not, but maybe they do. I believe Harry and Meghan do the Instagram posts, but I could be wrong about that too. Anyway, so he shared a picture of whomever shared a picture of William with his father, Charles, as well as a picture of William with Prince Louis. And people are wondering, where are the other two? Where are George and Charlotte? The picture comes from a series of photos that they released a couple weeks ago when the family visited a garden that Mom Kate had designed for the Chelsea Flower Show. And the picture is adorable. Prince Louis is sitting on a little swing, a little ball swing, and his dad is crouched down before him and making a very smiley, goofy, dad-like face. There are pictures of him with the other two in this series, but the one that they decided to post for Father's Day is just the one of him and Louis. So people are asking why they didn't include any pictures of Prince George and Princess Charlotte. Prince George is 5, Princess Charlotte is 4, baby is 1. Maybe just because he is a baby, I don't know. One commenter said, "Why only Louis? Why not George and Charlotte? They are the eldest children. They should have posted the Christmas photo where there's all the Cambridge kids." Always loved this one too. Happy Father's Day. And then another noted, apparently Kate doesn't have a dad and William only has one child. Happy Father's Day. Oh, wow. People are snarky. At any rate, it is a little strange that they did only post a picture with William's father and only one child. Who knows what the thinking was there. They might have some reason that we don't know about. It is an adorable picture, and it's very sweet. The one of him and his father, they are walking away from, in front of something. William is wearing his flight suit, and they're walking in front of a plane. But no Mr. Middleton, no other children. Who knows? Not me. But it is an adorable picture, and they can wish Happy Father's Day however they want. Maybe people were complaining about the pictures that I posted of my father on Father's Day. I don't know. My husband posted a picture of his father, and I posted a picture of my father, but see, I could have gotten in trouble too because I did not post a picture of my father-in-law, although my husband posted a picture of his father-in-law. See, I failed as well. At any rate, moving on from Prince William and Father's Day, let's turn to some Game of Thrones news. It's been long enough. There will be spoilers in this If you haven't watched it yet, then don't listen to this segment of the podcast because it really has been long enough. Even I've watched it now. It took me a really long time to actually get around to watching season 8. So, people, it's widely agreed. A lot of people did not like season 8 in general. They didn't like season, or the way it ended in particular. And now actress Lena Headey, who played Cersei in the role, has addressed how her character was killed off. And like many fans, she wasn't terribly impressed with her character's death either. Headey said in an interview with the Guardian, I will say I wanted a better death. Obviously, you dream of your death. You could go in any way on that show, so I was kind of gutted. But I just think they couldn't have pleased everyone. That is true. Very, very true. She continued, no matter what they did, I think there was going to be some big come down from the climb. Cersei Lannister was killed in the... Actually, you know what? I just won't tell you if you haven't seen it. You'll know she's dead, but I won't tell you how. But you'll know that Lena Headey was not impressed with her own death. With not her own, you know what I mean, Cersei's death, because she didn't. Lena Headey didn't die. Just so you know, that's the spoiler I'm giving you. Speaking of Game of Thrones, Madonna apparently is a super fan, and she also was not happy with the way it ended. Again, spoilers. Just putting it out there. She has mentioned what she thinks about the way it ended. She did not feel like the correct person ended up on the Iron Throne. Yeah, she did pick Emilia Clarke's Daenerys Targaryen to rule the Seven Kingdoms. That did not happen. I won't again tell you how or why she did not end up on the Iron Throne, just in case. But Dany did not end up where she wanted to be on the Iron Throne, and Madonna is not impressed by that. She said, come on, do you need to even ask me that? Khaleesi, obviously, in terms of who should be on the throne, she's the mother of dragons. So Madonna was apparently a huge fan of the show. She even dressed as Khaleesi, Dany, Mother of Dragons, in March of 2014. She even has little dragons on her shoulders. Wow, she went all out. That's an impressive picture. So it's obvious. I mean, even in 2014, if she was dressing as Dany, then she was clearly a fan of the Mother of Dragons, and who can blame her? That was a pretty kick-butt character. So she is definitely not happy, not impressed with who actually ended up on the Iron Throne, that it was not Daenerys Targaryen, but I'm sure that I'm sure a lot of people are unhappy about the way the series ended. In fact, I know a lot of people are unhappy about the way the series ended because they've been very vocal about it, very grumpy about it. So that brings me to ask you, dear listeners, who did you think should have ended up on the Iron Throne? And there isn't even an Iron Throne anyway. The dragon, whose name I can't remember, destroyed it. Again, I told you there was going to be spoilers. It just burned the snot out of it and melted the darn thing down. So there isn't an Iron Throne. Now it's just metaphorical for the person who is ruling over the 7 kingdoms, or 6 kingdoms, or 2.5 kingdoms, or however it's going to shake down eventually as things settle, because it could really go in a lot of different directions. Who do you think should be on the Iron Throne? Were you happy with the way it ended? Were you annoyed, upset, disillusioned, disappointed with the way Game of Thrones ended? I'm not sure how I feel with the way it ended. I know my husband was not thrilled with a lot of the things that happened in season 8, but he overall was like, that was fine. He didn't have a problem with the way it ended. And I have heard, whatever, that the book series is not going to end the same way, which makes sense since the books have not been finished being written yet, or the series has not been finished being written, and so the television show left the series at a certain point and went its own direction, and the books will not end in the same way. But that is typical for any kind of book turned movie, television series, miniseries, what have you. There's always going to be departures that the on-screen version takes from the written version. It'll be interesting to see where George R.R. Martin goes with the ending and if people are any happier with his version than they were with the televised version. We are going to take that first break of the podcast. When we come back, we'll be turning our attention to news from the world of music. So stay tuned. You're listening to the GSMC Entertainment Podcast, and I will be right back.
Want to find out what movies to go see? Then check out the GSMC Movie Podcast. It's your ticket to the latest movies, whether it's a new blockbuster event, romantic, comedy, or action flick. This show has got it all covered. They talk some what to go see now. Don't bother. What's hot on Netflix and everything in between. That's gsmcpodcast.com/movie-podcast. When it's all about the movies, it has to be this new show. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit gsmcpodcast.com for more info.
Welcome back to the GSMC Entertainment Podcast. Before the break, we were speaking about Madonna and her reaction to the Game of Thrones series finale. So that's kind of the segue from Madonna and Game of Thrones. Since Madonna is a musician, now we're moving on to other stories involving music and musicians. And our next story is Adele and the Spice Girls. The Spice Girls have been on their reunion tour, and Adele was in the crowd for their final reunion tour date. And she apparently, as she does, posted a lot of it on Instagram, so fans were able to watch how her evening unfolded. She is quoted as saying, "I cried, laughed, screamed, danced." She obviously had a very good time. She posted a video of herself lip-syncing in the car to the Spice Girls on her way there. The 90s group took to the stage at London's Wembley Stadium yesterday, following a number of massive comeback shows across the UK. I know they had a rough start, but they seem to maybe have gotten those under control. Adele has been apparently a huge fan of the Spice Girls since she was a child, and so she went to the concert, revealing that she first saw the Spice Girls 21 years ago. She's quoted as saying, "Tonight with my nearest and dearest, I cried, laughed, screamed, danced, reminisced, and fell back in love with my 10-year-old self." This is what she wrote alongside some snaps and footage of the show. She said, "It's no secret how much I love them, how much they inspire me to run for my life and never look back." I like Adele. I think she seems like a really fun person to hang out with. She posted a picture of herself with Jerry Halliwell. And again, as I said, this started with the video of herself singing, lip-syncing, whatever she's doing to the Spice Girls on her way to the concert. And then she, another image reveals that she, as she wrote, finally got to meet Jerry Halliwell, also known as Ginger Spice. She said, "I got drunk with the girls, and quite frankly, I can't believe how far I've come," she added, thanking the 5 British legends for inspiring her to pursue music. Ginger Spice also shared the photo of herself with Adele, captioning it, "Finally Together." And you can see both of those posts on Instagram. They also announced they also announced elsewhere that they are taking the reunion tour to Australia in January of 2020. So there's a lot of acts going to Australia next year, late this year and next year. So if you're a fan of the Spice Girls and you live in Australia, you are in luck because they are coming, to your continent. It's a big place. I don't know if they're coming near you. I can't speak to that, but they are at least going to be in your country. Our next story is about Katy KT Tunstall, the Scottish musician. I am a fan, I will admit. And she has been quoted as saying, "I'm trying to shine a light on women in the studio because it's really rare." She joined Danielle Perry in the studio backstage at the Isle of Wight Festival this year and talked about wanting to shine a light on women in the studio and how she's worked out setting herself artificial deadlines that enables her to be a more prolific writer. It was a trip down memory lane for KT coming back to play at the Isle of Wight Festival after 10 years, and she reflected on the mad memories in that time. She said, "I'm not quite sure what to do about production on this album. I'm still having a look around, looking for some ladies to choose from, to be honest, because it's something I feel pretty passionate about. Certainly in the studio world, just to try and shine a light on more women being in the studio, because it's really rare. For my third record, I did a writing session with Linda Perry in LA, and that was amazing. We wrote a couple of really good songs together. She's the queen. Yeah, she's an amazing force in popular music. She's incredible. So just more of that, please." And then on needing deadlines to write great music, she said, "I've worked out there's things that I can do that really help me, and certainly having deadlines is really important. Sometimes I'll set a completely arbitrary date for when I've got to finish something because I know that it's the same as when I was at school, basically. If I've got an exam, I'm not going to do any work until 3 days beforehand. Maybe one day beforehand, and my brain works. I just tend to perform better if there's pressure. It makes me dig harder, I think. So for me, that's the way forward. For me, really making music is that always make sure that I can see an end point that I've got to get to, and I'll make some good stuff." And then finally, she said about being back at the Isle of Wight Festival after 10 years. "It's just amazing coming back and playing Isle of Wight because it's at least 10 years since I played here. When that happens and you come back and play somewhere that you've played before ages ago, you just think about all the life and the music and the adventures that you've had. It's mad." You can see the full interview that KT Tunstall did with Danielle Perry on absoluteradio.co.uk if you are interested in that. I'm excited that she is going to be working on another album. I really like her, and I will check that out when it comes out. That reminds me that I need to go back and listen to her some more, because I tend to listen to audiobooks in the car, and I sometimes don't listen to music as often as I should or want. I like to, sing loudly in the car, but you don't have to be there with me for that, thankfully. In other music news, there is a previously unheard Miles Davis album. It's called Rubber Band, and it is being released by Warner Records. According to a recent article, Miles Davis shocked the music world in 1985 when he left his longtime label Columbia Records and joined with Warner Brothers Records. Soon after, he began recording the Rubber Band album, which was recorded in Los Angeles at American, it's spelled differently. I should probably know how to say that. Studios with producers Randy Hall and Zane Giles. He took a radical departure from his usual music in these sessions with hints of funk and soul grooves. He also planned to feature vocalists Al Jarreau and Chaka Khan on the album. Eventually, though, it was shelved, and Davis went on to record Tutu. This album, Rubber Band, was basically forgotten for over 30 years. But Rhino/Warner Records is going to release the entire 11-track Rubber Band album on September 6th. Formats will run the gamut, spanning streaming, an LP vinyl release, and even a CD version. Davis fans got a taste of this long-lost album last year with the release of a 4-track Rubber Band EP for Record Store Day. The 11-track album was finished by the original producers Hall and Giles in cooperation with Davis's nephew Vince Wilburn Jr., who played the drums for the first session in 1985-86. The album also features newly recorded vocals from Layla Hathaway and Ledisi. So if you are a Miles Davis fan, you should definitely check this out. On September 6th, Davis played both trumpet and keyboards on the album and was joined in the studio by several artists, including keyboardist Adam Holzman, Neil Larson, and Wayne Lindsay. Percussionist Steve Reed, saxophonist Glenn Burris, and as mentioned previously, his nephew Vince Warren Jr. on drums. The Rubber Band recording sessions were engineered by Reggie Dozier, whose brother Lamont Dozier formed part of Motown songwriting team Holland Dozier Holland. Rubber Band includes liner notes from George Cole, the writer of The Last Miles. It also features an original painting by Miles Davis as the cover art. You can pre-order the album, and again, it will be released on September 6th. That is very exciting for fans of Miles Davis. They might be a little surprised by the different tone and sound of this album, but they should, I would imagine they'd still be excited to have something new from such a legend and an icon in the jazz world. It is time to go ahead and take that second break of the podcast. When we come back, we have a little bit more music news, and then we'll be switching to movies. So stay tuned. You're listening to the GSMC Entertainment Podcast, and I'll be right back.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Welcome back to the GSMC Entertainment Podcast. We have been speaking about some news related to music, and I have one more story from this world. It's maybe not exactly music related, but it is about Dolly Parton, who is pretty well known in the music world, and she has reacted to Post Malone wearing a print of her face. Which I have to imagine that if you are famous in any kind of way and somebody makes a shirt with your face on it, it would have to be so weird to see your face on somebody else wearing your face. I don't know. Maybe it's not weird. Maybe you get used to it. But Dolly Parton on Saturday night, let me back up. On Saturday night, last night, Post Malone wore a unique outfit during his Bonnaroo set in Manchester, Tennessee. He took to the stage wearing a Dolly Parton-inspired print. Today, the legendary country singer reacted to his outfit, posting her approval on Twitter. She's quoted as saying, "Love the outfit from head to toe at Post Malone." And she shared a photo of the outfit and added a winking emoji. The outfit, it's not just a picture of her face. It's many, many pictures of her face. And it's not just a t-shirt. It's an entire outfit. I had not looked at the picture closely before this. It was kind of fun. I liked the surprise. No, it's an entire outfit. It looks like kind of like Scrubs or something along that line, and it is just her face in row upon row upon row. It looks like black and white. And yeah, so Dolly Parton liked it. I cannot imagine my face being on somebody's outfit that much. I mean, one image of my face on somebody's t-shirt is crazy enough, but wow, that is an impressive outfit. I don't even know what else to say about that except wow. Anyway, Dolly, of course, was a good sport about it, and she seems like she is just a hoot and would be really fun to hang out with. She loves the outfit. How could she not love the outfit? Well, I mean, I guess she could have been horrified by the outfit or freaked out by the outfit, but she seems like a really good sport. Moving on to news from the world of movies. We were just in the world of music. Men in Black International is releasing in July, and apparently Tessa Thompson, who is one of the co-stars of the movie, refused to say one of the iconic lines in the movie. One of the most iconic lines from the original film was almost set to appear in this new version of it, but as I said, Tessa Thompson refused to say it. She plays M in the new film. After spending her whole life searching for the organization, she becomes a rookie member of the Men in Black. The film contains a shout-out to the sequence in the original film where Will Smith's Jay is outfitted with a sleek suit and says, "I make this look good." During an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Thompson revealed she was asked at one point to perform her own delivery of the line. "I wouldn't have said it," Thompson explained. "In fact, I think someone did ask me to, just as an option, and I said no. M is just different from that character. Yeah, I was really conscious of too much nostalgia. Also, inside of that, there were moments when I thought, let's lean in." This includes another moment in the sequence where she refuses to say, the noisy cricket, the infamously powerful weapon Jay uses in the original film. So I apologize. I said it was releasing in July. It's already out. I clearly need more sleep. That's what I need. But the movie was directed by F. Gary Gray. It stars Chris Hemsworth, Tessa Thompson, Rebecca Ferguson, Kamali Nanjiani, I apologize if I mispronounced that, Rafe Spall, seriously need more sleep, Spall, Laurent Bourgeois, and Larry Bourgeois, with Emma Thompson and Liam Neeson. So I am excited to see that, and as I've mentioned before, I'm excited that it is it's a different story. It's not just a reboot. They didn't just replace the characters of the original. I mean, we'll see how many similarities there may or may not be, but I am excited to see that at some point. Speaking of Men in Black actors, Chris Hemsworth is apparently leaving Hollywood films for a while. He is officially taking a break for an undetermined amount of time. He, of course, rose to stardom playing the part of Thor in the Marvel Universe. He recently announced that he's not working on any new projects in 2019. Instead, he wants to spend more time with his children and wife in Australia, which is understandable. I mean, he has done a lot of movies in recent years, and I can't say that I blame him for taking that break. So in a new interview, Hemsworth confirmed that he is leaving Hollywood behind in 2019 and returning home to Australia. The actor, who has 3 children with his wife, Elsa Pataky, is excited to free up his schedule for a little family time. Although, it might be kind of sad for viewers to know that he's not filming anything currently. Still, I can't blame him for wanting to spend more time with his family. He is quoted as saying, "This year I probably won't shoot anything. I just want to be home now with my kids." And, his kids are young and they change a lot during that time. So it's a good choice to just, not that he cares about my opinion, but I think it's a really good choice. He does have a whole bunch of movies that are scheduled to release this year. Obviously, he's already finished filming them. Apart from his appearance in Avengers Endgame, he is in what we were just talking about, Men in Black International. He is also scheduled to star in DACA and had a cameo in Kevin Smith's Jay and Silent Bob reboot. So with 3 more movies yet to be released, Hemsworth is looking forward to relaxing and enjoying his time away from the studio. So when will he return to Hollywood? Some fans are worried that he's taking a step back from his career, but he hasn't ruled out working on new projects in 2020, though he did say he is done, quote-unquote, chasing films. He is also planning to work on projects that are close to his home so that he can spend as much time with his family as possible. And this might mean that his blockbuster days are over. We'll see. That he's very, very popular, and people like him a lot. So I think it's wonderful that he has made this choice to spend more time with his family. What effect it will have on his career is yet to be seen, but at this point, he's probably doing okay. I think he's probably done enough that he is okay to take some time off, and he'll be okay. Don't have to worry about him. I applaud his, since it is Father's Day, I applaud this decision on his part to spend more time with his children and, be a more present dad to them. At any rate, it is time to wrap up this episode of the GSMC Entertainment Podcast. Join me again next time when we'll see what else is happening in the world of entertainment. Hope you have a great week. Thanks.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.